Filthy Fight Moves number 5.
Hi, this is Dale Comstock and Joe Ted-Eye. We're going to talk about a couple things today. One is a little bit about self-defense. I mentioned in another video series, I talked about a 1-2 punch, right? If a guy can master a 1-2 punch, he can probably win 99% of his fights. Most guys cannot punch. Okay, have no idea how to punch. You know, they swing wildly, they miss, they hurt their hands, and they're totally ineffective. But if you can effectively throw a 1-2 punch, I guarantee you'll win most of your fights out of it. So let's talk about the 1-2 punch, right? I keep talking about the 1-2 punch. If you can master 1-2 punch, you probably win most of your fights. There is a technique for throwing a punch, okay? And every time I think about this, I think about this one Jim Carrey movie where he gets in a fight with a guy and he puts his hands up and he does this number here, right? He's like ready to fight. You know, okay, that's a little over, over the top, but a lot of guys throw their punches like this. They have their thumbs on the side and they swing like this, right? These swinging type punches. The key to winning a street fight with just your punches is to throw a straight 1-2 punch. What is a 1-2 punch? So my strong hand is my right hand in this case. So I'm going to basically always assume a boxer stance. Toe to heel, shoulders width apart with constant forward pressure. I want about 60% of my weight on my toes, 60% of my weight on my front leg. So I always have constant forward pressure, okay? My hands, my elbows are down to my side, my hands are up alongside my cheekbones about right here. This is where my hands are, nice and high, all right? This is my center line. It's going to be off center just a little bit, about a 45-degree angle. Now what's important here is the punch. My weak hand, in this case my left hand is my 1 punch. My right hand, my number 2 punch, okay? Now throwing the punch. The idea here is speed kills, okay? Basically what that means, the faster I can throw my punch, the more power I generate. Strong is wrong. We have a saying all the time, the harder I try to punch you and the more power I use, the less effective it is. So if I'm going to take a shot at Joe's face, I want my hand to flip out there as fast as I can. And the best way to do that is keep everything nice and relaxed, let the punch go out, and basically I'm pushing it out with my elbow. As I'm launching the punch, the fist is rolling over and my hands are still loose.
Hey, Jimbo here. I've got an awesome free YouTube giveaway. For the first 200 guys, it's the world's fastest drawing pocket knife. Quicker than any switchblade. We call it the Striker. And with your permission, I will now rush you this amazing knife for free. Just pay shipping and handling and it's on its way to your front door. But get to the link in the description now if you want one.
I don't lock my hands up, tighten my hands up to the last 2 inches of the punch when it rolls over. Here's what I'm striking with. It's these 2 knuckles. Just like that, okay? Now, when I roll my fist over, what happens is it locks out my elbow, it rolls my shoulder up, it gives me a natural sandbag here to protect my jaw and my neck, right? So because I'm now vulnerable to a counter punch. So it looks something just like that, with the punch tightening up right at the end. Striking with this part of the knuckle. And basically I'm drawing a straight line all the way down my arm. It's like hitting him with a pole, okay? When people tend to throw punches like this, their elbows bent, they lose all effect on the punch, right? They lose all the energy. The energy is going out the elbow, out that way. It's not going into the target. So the number 1 punch, basically, is push it straight out, roll the fist over, tighten the fist up at the end of the extension. Boom, okay? Shoulders up, elbows locked, roll the fist. Now, rolling of the fist also has another benefit. It tears tissue, especially around the eye. Okay, skin's very thin around it. You turn that over on a guy's face, well, he's gonna start bleeding. Okay, so what? He's bleeding. Has a psychological effect, okay? And also has a moral effect for me, right? It's like, okay, I've hurt the guy, right? I'm drawing blood. Now, same thing with the right hand. Now, here's the problem. If I can reach in with my left hand, I fall really short with the right hand because of my stance, right? Unless I'm squared up like this is a bad idea too, right? Because, he's gonna hit me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rotate out on the balls of my feet, kick my heel out on the back leg. And when I do that, watch what happens. So my lead hand is this full extension, as far as I can reach. This is as far as I can reach without rotating my leg. But when I rotate my leg out, boom, I can punch beyond his head. I can actually get more reach by doing it, and I generate more power. And the power is coming from my feet. It has nothing to do with how strong I am up here, my shoulders, or anything else. The power all is generated from, boom, that one ankle on this side, by pushing out and rotating away. Boom. Okay, so what have I effectively done? Is I've thrown a straight punch, 1 and a 2. I've got maximum reach, okay? If he's trying to hit me, if he reaches out, I'm way out here. Okay, I still have just a little bit of room to move. Boom, I can still punch right through this guy. All right, a 1-2 punch. Now most guys throw these looping punches. When he does that, go ahead, boom, right up the middle. Boom, right up the middle. When he's doing this, I just shift the middle. If I do this, I'm wide open. And this is where guys fail because they come in doing this. They're swimming, okay? Straight punches. 1-2 punch. It's very easy to do. You can stand up against the wall and throw the punches and just kind of slightly touch the wall with your knuckles. Practice kicking out that rear heel. And there you have it.
Guys, you're learning from the master. This guy's got more experience in fighting than anybody I know. And there's gonna be more videos coming. Dale's got a ton of DVDs out right now with Fightfast. You need to check them out. Again, if you like these DVDs, ring the bell.
Filthy Fight Moves number 4.
Hi, I'm Paul Vunak, and TRS has asked me to come in and teach some additional principles and concepts to complement Street Safe 1 and 2. So let's get out your notebooks and we'll get started. Now, in Bruce Lee's art, there is a particular formula that we like to follow. Basically, in fighting you have 4 ranges: kicking, punching, trapping, and grappling. The whole world knows how to grapple, and the whole world punches and kicks. But very few people know how to trap. So our goal is to get into trapping range, where we can use our headbutts, our knees, and our elbows. In order to get into that range, we have to use an entry. When we enter, our concept is to enter with pain. So when the opponent throws a punch at us, we do what's called a destruction. The destruction will inflict pain on the opponent. We borrow that moment in time when the opponent's in pain, and then we come in with a straight blast. The straight blast inflicts a lot of forward pressure and inflicts a lot of pain. After the straight blast, if the opponent happens to block a punch, which is rare, then we do our traps, and then we get into our headbutts, knees, and elbows. So with that in mind, you're going to watch what we do as we go along with the program. Okay, Pat. Now, this is basically what it would look like in a fight. Pat would throw a jab at me. I'm going to do a destruction. After the destruction, I'm going to come in with a straight blast. Now, Pat, here would be our destruction. Now, I'm going to be hitting Pat's face. 1, 2, right here. He may put up a block. So what we're going to do with our techniques is we're going to start from this position just to save time. But I did want to show you how we get here. Now, starting from this position, our first move is a Paksal. We shuffle in, we're trapping this hand, and we're retracting the punching hand. So watch what I'm going to do is 3 motions with just 1 shot. Boom. So I'm going to slap this, retract this, and I'm going to shuffle. 3 things, 1 shot. Boom. Now, after I shoot the jab here, this hand is going to go low. When we shoot this high, the opponent's energy is looking at the high line, then this comes back down on the low line. This throws him off balance emotionally. So as I go here, bang, boom, and this comes low. Now I'm going to come up high again. So we'll look at this one more time. Let's take it at this angle right here. So I come in, boom, with the first shot. That's the Pak. After I come with a Pak, boom, this is low, and then this is high. One more time. All right? Let's give it a try.
Second notice about this awesome giveaway I'm conducting for the first 200 guys who respond. Get to the link in the description and I will rush you this stunning Striker pocket knife for free. Just pay shipping and it's on its way to your front door. This is a $70 knife. 8.5 inches long, cutlery grade steel, G10 handle, total quality. You can also draw this blazing fast if you want. I'll show you how. There's a strict limit of 200 to go around, so get to the link in the description now.
Filthy Fight Moves number 3.
Hey crew, Mark Hatmaker here and Dan Marks. Hey, how's it going, man? Right. How's your weekend? Good. All right, that's enough. Again, make sure we're clear in our perspective here. We're throwing a bunch of self-defense tactics out there. Most of ours is coming from historical recreation, old school boxing, old school wrestling, old school frontier, rough and tumble combat, nothing sportive about it, all meant to be mean. Let's discuss a particular striking tactic from the early days of bare knuckle with something called the chopper. It comes to us from a pugilist named Jack Slack, whose nickname, a ring name, was the Norfolk Butcher. That's because he was a butcher from Norfolk. It took a lot of creativity there. He was a short fighter, strong fighter, but he packed a wallop, and his primary shot was called the chopper. This is no longer illegal, and that's why it kind of floats my boat, and I love it. It's basically a strike with the bottom of the fist. That is the chopper. Now, it's interesting how he would set it up, though, because since he was a short stature, and since he had range deficiencies, meaning everyone had longer limbs than him, he would come up with kind of a variation of what we might think of as a Philly roll. Not nearly as elegant, but it's this double covered up position right here. So he's looking out, peeking out over the top, preserving his nose, his eye sockets, he's preserving his teeth, comes into this manner right here. And when he wanted to hit with it, is this bottom fist, this top hand would curl off, and he would have a lunge, because remember, he's from the outside, so he had to cover range, so we're here, this stands in for Dan's head, moves in, this big, hairy outside fist from here. She just uncovers it from here, and that is basically a chopper, but that's not specifically, according to the record, how he was throwing it only, because there's a tendency to think of only being throwing as a single. He's covered up, so one good turn deserves another. So what he's doing is he's stepping in. Chopper allows this weight, the inertia to pull him. Then you got the second one that pulls out at the same time. So you're basically going to have a collision going on. We'll do this super slow. So we'll see, as I hit it this way, that head's already moving this way, and that means that collision, this is a head-on collision here. So it's not like I'm hitting it and having to chase it. You're kind of knocking it into the next fist. So we'll have a clumsy look on the shield. We'll put it back up here. Here, you're going to have it like chop through as it moves through. Your job is not to look for elegance with it, just understand the wisdom of how he was using it. It was to step in, swing for the fences, and then swing back, and sometimes this bites nothing, but the inertia starts pulling you back into a standard stance. You don't have to throw it from here, but you can, because it's so easy to move off of your standard boxing or street self-defense stance and immediately quasi-Philly cover, throw that chopper. You can throw a single if you want to, but throwing the second one on top of it, every time we train with it, you just don't see that one coming. Even if we know it's training and it happens, you see the one, you either move or juke or jive out of the way, but you're leaning right into that other one. So that's what makes it so sweet.
Filthy fight moves number 2.
When we're at infighting range, we're actually looking at the predominant combat distance in pancration. Actually, many fights will begin here and end up on the ground. So in a tight range situation, we have a number of tools that enable us to gain the advantage over our opponent. So let's take a look at the range. Eric, if you would. When you're at close range, you're in fighting range, you're toe-to-toe, okay? You have bridged the gap. You can't kick from here. Your straight line shots with your hands just don't work anymore. So basically, if you're going to punch, you're going to have to use compact, tight blows. Now, the first blow we're going to take a look at is the lead hook. The lead hook is a boxing punch that actually goes back several thousand years to a Greek sport called pixmahia. And this was actually the Greek form of boxing. That was also in pancration. Now, hooks are tight, compact blows. They are not wide swings, they are tight. In a situation like this, at this distance, both fighters will be well covered. They will be using bobbing and weaving movements. They will be protecting their heads and bodies with their fists, their forearms, and their elbows. They will be keeping their elbows in tight to their body, okay? So a lot of times they're going to try to catch body shots on the elbows and the arms. Even parrying and deflections don't work from this distance, all right? It's a completely different set of rules and a complete new form of technique. So I'm in this position, I'm going to land a right hook to the jaw. Now the important thing about the hook to remember is it's a short punch, not a wind-up blow. Okay? The power comes from the pivoting on the front foot and a swivel from the waist. Your shoulder, your elbow, and your fist are basically all in the same plane, and you turn or swivel on the ball of the front foot to land the hook to the jaw or to the floating ribs. All right? Now, again, you've got to be in close for this blow to work. And it's a power punch. All right? It has a full body weight behind it. The hook goes here to the jaw. The hook can go here to the ribs. All right? Bobbing and weaving enables you to get the body into it. So if you can weave the body and sway it from side to side, you're actually going to be building up the momentum, all right? And again, the power comes from the floor. It's rooted in the legs. It goes up through the hips swivel in, and that swivel is actually accommodated by that pivot of the front foot, ball of the front foot. So that lead leg should be allowed to swivel freely. In this position, we've got to also be careful of elbows, knees, so our rear hand is going to be acting as a shield. So when we're punching, this hand, this left hand or left arm, if you're in the southpaw stance, is actually going to be shielding your face and your body against return blows from the opposing fighter.
Final chance at getting a free striker knife. It's a $70 knife. It's one of the fastest drawing pocket knives in the world, and it's yours for free. Just pay shipping to get this to your front door, and I'll rush one out to you right away. I started with only 200 knives to go around. There are still some left, so get to the link in the description while you can. I'll see you inside.
Filthy fight moves number 1.
The next thing that I like to hit inside my facility is Bob. As you can see, that he simulates a human being. I got this mask on him and whatnot, and he simulates hitting a human body. And what I'm gonna do right now is have Andre do some combinations on it. All right, Andre. As you can see, when you're hitting Bob, it's such a soft rubber composition. It causes no pain to your hands. When you hit him in the face, hit him in the body, it's nice and soft. You can move him real far. And it's actually, without bone, the closest thing they could simulate human flesh or human face, body, and torso. So that's why we like hitting. That's why I like hitting Bob. Right now I'm gonna have Hector come in and good job, Andre, and have him hit Bob for a little bit. All right. Maximum effect, or I still consider special operations. So his intensity level when he hits is to swarm on his opponent. And as you can see, Bob is moving erratically. You got to make sure that you're breathing proper when you're delivering damage. Good job, Hector. Good job. Now I'm going to simulate myself hitting Bob. I like to move him down. The higher he is, the further he moves. The lower he is, where he has that low center of gravity, you could actually hit him a lot better without it moving so much. Because I don't have the luxury of having people train with me every day. So let me fix your face there, Bob. What I like to do is just jab, simulate the jab, come across to the right, jab, uppercut, hook. He moves just like a human being. It's quite comical hitting him. If you get a chance to hit one of these things, you'll see what I'm talking about. Pretty cool. Andre, come on in here. Let's get some more. Control. Nice jab. Uppercut body work. See the way he snaps the head back? That simulates a person get hit with a jab. Mushing everything up there in his brain to where eventually they fall. Most human beings can only take a couple of these shots to the head before they fall and they meet their demise. So, good work, Andre. Come in one more time, Hector. This is street tactics. Hector's a swarmer. Kind of like Rocky Marciano. A lot of hooks, a lot of body work. Maximum damage. Good job, Hector. Pretty much wears you out after a couple of minutes hitting it. So you want to hit this in intervals. And that's why we like hitting Bob.
Thanks for watching our video lessons here at TRS Direct. Hit the like button down below and consider subscribing to our channel here on YouTube. Hit the bell icon and we'll send you a notification when there's a new lesson available. Thanks again for watching.